Today is September 5th, 2021. Hey, I'm not even at the end yet. I'm pretty far from the shore. Very low tide today. If I feel the earth shake, I'm not going to be running. I mean, I'm bloated from just eating food bank stuff and doing homework to advocate for myself to find work. Oh, by the way, I'll get to this topic in a second. The topic of this video is what is the difference between sociocybernetics and psychohistory, as talked about in the Apple series and the Isaac Asimov Foundation series. So I'll get to that. I just wanted to say that there's an employer that wanted to hire me, and I'm missing income, and it's documented that it is because of the Ministry of Poverty Creation, and I've already approached MLAs, the ministry, other politicians, the ombudsman, even like a police officer saying this qualifies it as hate crime. I talked to you the other day. It doesn't make a difference, right? You are unwell and you were unwell, where social tipping points were passed before I was born. Anyways, before I was born could lead me into this topic. So from my birth to my death is my psychohistory. So, so if I feel shaking and there's a tsunami, already when I was in Norway, I made peace with my life. I had accomplished at least one, and was on the way to two things that nobody had ever succeeded at or accomplished before. I was pretty proud of myself, but I also accepted, if this is it, this is it. But it wasn't. So anyways, if there's a big earthquake and there's a tsunami, I'm not going to run with this bloated tummy when I've already accepted my death and that your species won't allow me to be of service. And this job is not a big job to be of service, but it'd be nice, it'd make me happy, right? To ride motorcycle again, to deliver food, maybe get discounts, maybe meet an Asian lady that's single and just kind of do something simple and finish writing my book that you can ignore. But that's not what's happening. So in the Foundation series, psychohistory is a very complex mathematical science that can predict the future, because in the future of this series, right, which happens in the future, is there's such a large number of people and planets where the people live that you can mathematically now do predictions with it to chart, galactic history. And of course, it would help this science understand galactic past as well. I don't know if they'll talk about that. So that's psychohistory in the science fiction world. When I talk about my life from my birth to end, or studying anybody like a scientist or an historical figure, studying their life and see how their life took a path and what the environments or choices or even genetics created in this person's life, that's, the real science in our non-fictional world. That's what we would call psychohistory. That's why I've been using it this way for a long time, to teach you guys the difference. Now, the closest equivalent there is to the psychohistory of the science fiction world is sociocybernetics, which does not require a mathematical genius. And this is what I've been calling myself and demonstrating it. I've been calling myself the professor of sociocybernetics. I also said that I'd like to teach about eugenics. I'd like to teach how to develop an ecocentric focused worldview, but I would not like to teach sociocybernetics. I mean, I can demonstrate it. You might figure it out if you study this book that may or may not be written, all my videos, my text. You might figure out that the proof is there, that I know and understand enough about sociocybernetics to use it and define it, and even do lectures if the people that already consider themselves sociocyberneticists would ever allow me to go to one of their conferences somewhere in the world. Anyways, this is where I am today, still advocating to be of service, because I am not a violent person who can commit suicide, and I also do not agree with doing that when I have acquired many skill sets through eugenics, where I can endure hardships better than the norm. and still be very functional and able to be of use to others. But again, if the ground's shaking here and I see everybody running, and even people try to say, get out of there, I'm going to be like, great, I'm dying on my own terms. But, you know, if it's a big earthquake, though, instead of, you know, the people primates killing me slowly, I'm dying on my own terms in a quicker way. But, you know, everybody running, if it's a really big earthquake and it's triggering a tsunami or not in this area, they're just, you know, there's like one road to get out of here. And there's a lot of people today with a lot of activities in different parks. So it's not like they would succeed, you know, with like, let's say a wave that is 2-3 meters high, and it could be a lot more than that. So that'd be me and my choices. I know enough about different systems such as geology and also how people would act if I started running and I got in my vehicle, whatever. I'd be dying not on my own terms. I'd be dying in a vehicle where I'd see people do atrocious things to each other right before they die, which is kind of, if you stretch out history, it's kind of really what your species has always been doing.